yeah, mine, I kind of focused on 20 records to get me through the pandemic. And these are all records that I've gotten since the pandemic started. So this Beck album, it's kind of great. It's perfect for those Monday mornings. I now, with the pandemic, work from home. So this is the record I put on every Monday morning to just set the mood and kind of make my day have that great vibe. So 2020 has been a bit of a dumpster fire, and it's sometimes you got to wallow in that negativeness. So when I need to do that, I go to the Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, and it's my wallowing record right now. So 2020 did teach me the value of being happy with the little things in life. So this has been my white whale record forever. And I came across this digging in a bin at vintage vinyl this year. And it was like, it just taught me you got to take pleasure in those small happy moments that you get because they're kind of few. So this is not a butcher cover, but it did kind of show me that even though you're getting exactly what you're looking at, sometimes that's fine. It's okay. It's probably not that bad after all to just get what you're getting. And who doesn't love the Beatles, right? So sometimes when things are kind of going rough, as they have been this year, all you really want is just like to call your mom, right? My mom unfortunately passed away a few years ago, but Lightfoot was her favorite. So anytime I need mom, I put on some Lightfoot, and this album I was able to pick up this year, which was actually one of her favorites. So we can't take any trips this year either. We're kind of stuck at home. So, if you want to look at it in an odd way, here's the psychedelic trip I can take every Saturday, put on some Big Brother and the Holding Company, lay back and just kind of psych out, as it were, and think about traveling. So also amidst the crazy pandemic, we've had a lot of social and political unrest this year. There was the Black Lives Movement up here in North America. We had the election down south, which affected us. But getting this album just kind of reminded me that there's a bigger picture. This pandemic's going to be over soon, but there's other issues we need to deal with. So this year has also been something, I work from home now, so I have the ability to kind of go for walks around the neighborhood. And this album, Cool Struttin', amazing jazz masterpiece with a great cover. That reminds me of just, put on your headphones and go for a walk around the neighborhood and enjoy the things that are around you. So Captain Dan and I became pretty fascinated with the Laurel Canyon scene this summer, and I'm really not sure why. It's just something we got into, but he went into the more singer-songwriter, and I really dug into these psychedelic artists like Frank Zappa and Love. So I was super stoked to find this album this summer. It was a perfect addition to my collection. So Captain Dan and I also spend a lot of our time talking about travel. We were planning to go on a few trips this year and they got canceled. So this is just, we're going to go to Paris. We're going to make it to Paris. So we put on this record and we start talking about some upcoming travel. It just gives you some hope and something to kind of look forward to next year. So like me, you probably get to the point with your collection where you're out digging and you pull things that you already have. The nice thing about living with someone who also is a record collector is when he does that, I get the album. So he pulled this one, he already had it. And it was a nice gift that I got to add to my collection, which made me super happy. So the last time I saw my best friend before our restrictions for the pandemic came in, we went out for coffee. We went to this bookstore that sells vinyl and I picked up this record. Her and I love, good 60s rock. And it just reminds me of that last time I got to go out and do something with my best friend. I haven't seen her in about 6 months. Vitology is another record where sometimes you just need to scream and thrash and just, really get your frustrations out. Pearl Jam's Vitology is what I put on, and it's fantastic for that. It's sometimes just really what I need. So it always feels important to trust people and try new things. And it's also important to value people's opinions. I picked up this record because the guy that runs Vintage Vinyl 204, my favorite stop, was raving about it. He told me it was amazing. I picked it up, I took it home. Dude was right. It is one of the best albums I've picked up this year. So the pandemic has taught me to value the little moments that you take for granted. So for me, that's like putting on this record early on a Saturday morning and just having an impromptu dance/rap battle, which I suck at, in my kitchen. It just, sometimes you need to do those little things to just lighten your mood and make the day go better. So this album and its classic punk revival just took me back to 2005 when I started my show. Doing punks and parkas every week during this pandemic has kind of gave me a routine, and it kind of pushed me back to think about the albums I was playing when I started the show and the artists I was into, and routine is important. So to be honest, for me, 2020 isn't as bad as a lot of people have said it was. I had a lot of great milestones. I moved in with my partner, and as a housewarming present, he actually bought me this album, which I've been looking for and wanting for the longest time. I also inherited a pet cat, so that's why you see Larry there. But so my work situation's changed, as has a lot of people with the pandemic. I started working from home in October. I actually got a promotion, so added stress. But this is an album I used to listen to when I started working with the company I work with. It was my go-to album every morning. And, you know, as my career progresses, it's nice to go back. So drop off and curbside pickup has become like a part of our lexicon now. These are things we just do. We never did before. The first album I ever had hand delivered by somebody to my house for a drop off was this fantastic score, Freedom of Choice by Devo. What did we do before curbside? And final, David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust. It doesn't just seem the world kind of went to shit when David Bowie died in 2016. After that, everything just kind of went on this downhill trajectory, but I'm hoping, you know, things will be on the up and up, and this album is the escape from reality we often need. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's better than I thought it would be.
Right?